Dubuque Super Hits 106 hits the holidays, and I couldn't possibly be any happier than to be talking to a man who really makes the holidays special for everyone. In fact, for the last 60 years has made recordings special for everyone. I know he records under the name Johnny Mathis, but he prefers to be called John. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Dick.
No, it's so wonderful to talk to you. I'm sorry about that, but I just couldn't leave it out there. After all these years, you're 60 years in the recording business. You have done just about everything there is to do. What's left for Johnny Mathis?
Oh, gosh. You know, the process of recording is something that I've gotten used to. Sometimes it turns out really, really good. Other times you feel like you're just treading water. Not so great. Maybe it's not the song, or maybe it's not the recording technique. But I just recorded some songs that are rather popular songs of the day, and I was just thrilled of the way that came out. But that's just part of, I guess, what someone like myself does. It can't be top of the line all the time, but when it does happen, it's fun. Even at this stage of my life, I'm still excited about little things of that nature.
Now, you just, as you said, you just released a new CD in September, and it's the Johnny Mathis Sings the Brand New Song American Songbook, and you were in the studio with Babyface and doing some more contemporary things. Did you enjoy that process?
Very much so. Babyface, I found out a little bit later on about his background, and it really is quite extensive. He has recorded under that name. That's not his real name, of course.
Yeah.
But he is a brilliant musician, plays the guitar fantastic, played on my album, my new album, and also sat behind the microphone, and he said, "Oh, let's do that again, John. Let's do that again." And, oh, God, one more time, right? But, yeah, he's a wonderful person. I couldn't be in better hands, and I'm thrilled with the job that he did for me.
So there's a Christmas suggestion for all of our listeners out there. Johnny Mathis sings the great new American Songbook. I've heard a couple of cuts from it, and it's just exactly what you would expect from Johnny Mathis, even at this point in your life. I'm just amazed at the quality of your voice. You look fantastic. You're still performing. I may mention, too, before I forget it, another great Christmas present for the Mathis fan would be tickets to Milwaukee and to Des Moines coming up next May. Johnny will be in Milwaukee. He'll be at the Civic Center in Des Moines, and he'll be doing his regular concert at those two venues. So take a look at Ticketmaster if you want to go see him. We're close enough to both of those places that you could get to either one. I guess the holidays, we really ratchet up a lot of Johnny Mathis at the holidays because you've made 6 Christmas CDs. Is Christmas really an important time to you, a big part of your life?
Well, it is. I come from a large family. Have 6 brothers and sisters. My mom and dad were my best pals, and they worked really, really hard to support us. As you know, they were domestic workers who were at really kind of, it was a very difficult for them because they weren't experts in any given thing, so they took whatever work that they could get. But I remember at Christmas time, even though we had no money, there was so much excitement in the house, and it came from the fact that the music was a big part of our celebrations. Not only the music that I heard at Christmas time, but also a lot of the participation that I did singing in choirs. And we'd always sing Christmas music. We'd go to the local department stores, and a group of us would get up in the loft and sing Christmas carols while the people were shopping. So Christmas has always been, for me, a very special time, and I'm over the moon thrilled about the success of my Christmas music over the years.
I'll bet you are. You know, I read some things about you and your father, what that wonderful relationship that you shared with him, and he had kind of an impact on your music too, didn't he?
Yeah, Pop was a wonderful singer. Of course, he had 7 children, and nobody ever heard him except the family. But he was my best pal. We went fishing and hunting together. He one day in the evening, I heard this noise as we were just going to bed, and it was my dad who had somehow acquired what looked like a bunch of wood to me outside of the little apartment that we lived in. And after a couple of hours putting it together, it turned out to be a piano. And for the first time, he sat down and played, and that was the first time that my brothers and sisters and I had known that my dad could play the piano. And that was the beginning of my singing and listening to him. And he was my best pal and my biggest supporter.
So I would say we owe a very serious debt to your father getting you involved in the music business. John, I'm sorry. I don't mean to take a lot of your time because I know you're busy at this time of year. I do have to say, why aren't you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Do you mind me asking that?
Oh, gosh. You know, those things are kind of up to the people who are in charge of that. I'm just happy being around, you know. If I get a reward once in a while, it's kind of nice. But, you know, things of that nature are very speculative. And I'm still happy to be doing what I do.
It's wonderful to talk to you, and having had the 3rd largest selling album on the Billboard charts ever is quite an accomplishment. Besides almost 80 albums, 6 Christmas CDs, you have been such a part of our lives for so long. It's just amazing what you have done in your career. And can I say before I go, for myself, Johnny, and I'm sure for my listeners, thank you so much for the joy and the music that you have given us over the years, and a very, very Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Dick, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all of the listening that you've done over the years for my music. Christmas is very special to all of us, and I cannot thank you enough, Dick, for playing my music.